Three, two, one, action. Welcome back to episode 64 of As Seen on Screen. I'm Gracie.
And I'm Nicole, and we're your source for entertainment news, reviews, conversations, and more.
You can find us wherever you get your podcasts on Spotify and YouTube.
Well, welcome back to the show. We're so happy you're here. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, we have tons of news to go over in film, television, music, and more. So let's start off with Gracie. What sequel are we talking about today?
You know, we love sequels, we love reboots. So here we are with another one that I don't think anyone asked for, but you know, to each their own.
I'm still just trying to wrap my head around what it's going to be.
Yeah, because like it'll make sense when I say what it is, but like everything that's going on with this app and these people right now, I don't know if this is the best idea. But that being said, this sequel to The Social Network is officially titled The Social Reckoning. It is set to release on October 9th, 2026, and this will be starring Jeremy Strong, Mikey Madison, Jeremy Allen White, and Bill Burr. So, for those of you who do not know what The Social Network is, it's basically about the creation of Facebook and all of the lovely people who went into making it. So that's why Nicole and I are saying we have no clue what the second one is going to be about, but there's a lot of controversy with Facebook and Meta and people involved with it. So The Social Reckoning does feel like a great title.
It does, and according to IMDb, there's not a lot on it, but all that it says is this is a great sentence. Explores Facebook's internal practices, spreads of false information, impact on teen mental health, and connection to January 6th Capitol events.
So they're basically just pissing people off with this movie.
Yikes.
You know what? I'm kind of here for it. I'm here for them stirring the pot. Jeremy Strong specifically is no stranger to taking on controversial roles for film
Yeah,
with his work in The Apprentice, which he was so phenomenal in.
killer.
So I feel like if he's a part of this, it's definitely being made for a reason, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Because I don't think that he'd sign on to something that didn't have meaning and wasn't trying to spread a message.
yeah. I agree. Okay, now I'm looking at Variety. And
Mm.
Variety says the new film focuses on events that take place nearly 2 decades after the boy genius programmer and a troupe of tech pioneers invented what would go on to become the world's largest social media platform. The Social Reckoning tells the true story of how Francis Hogan, a young Facebook engineer, enlists the help of Jeff Horowitz, a Wall Street Journal reporter, to go on to a dangerous journey that ends up blowing the whistle on the social network's most guarded secrets.
Not a lot is known about this film right now. Obviously, we know it's gonna stir the pot. Um, I can already tell there's gonna be people that are like, oh, this is so great, and people who are like, this is so wrong. They shouldn't be making this. Like, it's always gonna divide people, but I feel like this will definitely start some beef online.
I agree. Like you said, stirring the pot, poking the bear, all of it.
You know what? I'm here for it. We'll be watching all the way from over here in Canada.
Well, moving into our next piece of news, over in the music world, the country music world in specific, the pre-sale begins today for Stagecoach 2026, which is California's large country music festival. Our major headliners include Cody Johnson, Lainey Wilson, and Mr. Post Malone. Which I think is a good lineup. Actually saw Lainey Wilson last week when she was in Toronto. She's a fantastic performer. She's the winner of Female Country Music Artist of the Year, Entertainer of the Year, for many years now, honestly. So she is great on stage. She has great stage presence. Cody Johnson, I've also seen when he was at Boots and Hearts. He is fantastic. Love his music. I haven't seen Mr. Post Malone, but from everything I've ever seen of him from concert videos, I'm sure he'll be fantastic. But also in this lineup, we have Bailey Zimmerman, Red Clay Strays, Ella Langley, Sam Barber, Riley Green, Journey. Journey's in there. Little Big Town, Gavin Addick, Teddy Swims, Brooks and Dunn, Hootie and the Blowfish, Warren Ziders, Wyatt Flores, Brett Young, Ty Myers, Diplo, Pitbull, Ludacris.
Listen, I cannot tell you how excited I am to see Pitbull on this lineup. Like, don't get me wrong, the whole lineup is stacked. I also want to shout out Cameron Whitcomb because we love him here on this podcast.
Yes, we do.
Um, but Pitbull, I literally one of my life goals is to see Pitbull in concert. So that was really the selling factor of I need to go to this year's Stagecoach.
Love that. Just need
And
to be there.
I need to be there. This lineup is too good. And to top it all off with Pitbull, just feels like a sign that we have to go.
I love the randomness of throwing like Pitbull and Ludacris in there. That's so funny.
Also, like, what is Teddy Swims doing here? Like, don't get me wrong, love him. But
Teddy Swims and Noah Cyrus.
yeah, I mean, Noah Cyrus I could kind of see, but
Yeah, has more of a yeah.
Teddy Swims, I'm like, sir, do any country people know who you are? And I mean that with so much
Well,
respect to you.
well, he has that amazing duet with Tom Sweat that I love.
That's
So he has a great voice that lends well with country artists. So I'll give him that. The presale has begun today. The festival is taking place between April 24th to the 26th. So you can get your presale tickets now.
keeping it in the music world and drama world, as we were saying, people love stirring the pot on the internet. Tate McRae released her new single, Tit for Tat, and honestly, number one, she's iconic. We love a Canadian icon who can do it all. She can dance, she can sing, she's a performer. Um, I love her music. You were lucky enough to see her when she came to Toronto, which
Yes.
I'm super jealous of. But yeah, she is poking the bear with this single. For those of you who don't know, she had a relationship with the kid Leroy. Um, they have since broken up, and there's been a bit of back and forth music-wise instead of just like quotes wise. So, Nicole, tell us more about that.
Okay, so in Tate's new song, in the bridge, she has a line that says, "Let's go song for song, let's go back to back, fix your effing self, kiss my ass for that." But in Kid Leroy's song that he released a few weeks ago called A Cold Play, very first line of the song was, "Who was I to think that I could fix you, baby?" There's a lot of speculation online that Tate's line in her song is a direct response to the line in Kid Leroy's song, so who knows? Who knows what really happened there? Of course, Kid Leroy, when first speculations about their breakup came out, he was talking about how they ended on good terms. He didn't want people creating drama because there wasn't any. Who knows? But hopefully, wishing them both all the best because tricky, tricky territory.
Tricky. They're both super talented. I hope they sort this all out. But hey, if we keep getting good music from it, you win some, you lose some.
Well, moving into the television and horror realm, which is, everyone knows, is my territory here. We're officially in spooky season. It's October 2nd if you're listening today on the day we released it. So some good news for fans of the It franchise. This is your reminder to rewatch the first, well, the two films, the new versions of It, because Welcome to Derry, the It prequel series, is officially coming to HBO Max on October 26th, just a few weeks away, and we had a first look at Pennywise and the new teaser trailer. He's looking scary as ever. He's looking just as creepy as always. And I'm very excited to actually watch the series because I personally loved the new It movies. I thought they did a really good job with them. Loved the concept of seeing the young kids in the first one versus seeing them a bit older in the sequel. So I'm excited to see what they do with the prequel series. And the cast is killer in this. If you haven't heard of who is in this, we have Taylor Page, Giovanna Depo, Chris Chalk, James Remmer, Stephen Ryder, Madeline Stowe, Rudy Mancuso, and of course, we have Bill Skarsgård reprising his role as Pennywise the Clown. You know, I used to be terrified of clowns. I was actually a very scared child growing up. I don't know when I flipped that switch, but I hated anything scary. And I was especially scared of clowns for a very long time. So the day I decided to watch it was a big day for me. And I'm over that fear now, so we're good. But if anyone's scared of clowns, I get you. I get you because they're freaky. Something's not right. Something's not right about clowns. Something still doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah, I shockingly, I have watched both of the It movies.
I'm so proud. I feel like a
I
proud mom.
I know. I find them more of like a comedy, to be honest.
You know what? True. Minus when he's like eating children. True.
Cor- Correct. I think the comedy aspect of it is the reason I was able to get through these movies
Fair.
because I find it calming to be able to laugh at myself and laugh at other things when I'm scared. So I will be watching this. I will be scared. Um, but I think it's a great franchise. Um, Pennywise, I'm interested to learn more about his backstory because we see some photos where he's actually a human. And I'm like very intrigued now how one can go from a human to this very scary clown that eats children.
And how do we not make this mistake for ourselves, basically?
Correct. How do we, for research purposes, how do we keep this from happening in possible real life? But I love that Nicole says she was scared when she was a kid because totally off topic. I just want to say I sent her something that says, according to psychologists, people
Oh,
who watch horror movies for fun and sleep well afterwards are potentially psychopaths. And she does this.
really just said that applies.
So if you are afraid of clowns, just know you're not the only one. But if you somehow get out of it and end up watching horror movies for fun, you could be a psychopath.
Listen, I would argue that on the spectrum of concerning people from the horror movie world, what about people who write the horror movies?
Real. You know who worries me in the horror world?
Who?
Stephen King.
Prime example.
He writes this absolutely chilling stuff that no human being should be able to create. But somehow we get it. And that worries me. Is he okay? I mean, he's fine because he has lots of money now, but that concerns me.
Fair. You know what? Fair. I can't wait until we talk about our weekly watches because I have a Mr. King watch. That actually isn't technically a hardcore horror, so
Moving away from horror into something that is very exciting, Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco are officially married, and the photos and cute little videos we got are so cute and so wholesome, and I could not be happier for them. They look like it was such a special day. I love the fact that security was so tight on this. Like she had a huge tent so that no paparazzi or like overhead planes could get any shots. And I think that's what she deserves because she deserves privacy. She deserves to enjoy this. Well, they both do. Um, but watching her grow up in, Wizards of Waverly Place and the Princess Protection Program and all of her other lovely little adventures, I just feel like this is so full circle and I'm just so happy for both of them. And she looked absolutely beautiful.
I loved her dress. I loved the embellishment on the top here. I think from what it looks like, it looks kind of like lacy, florally maybe. Um, but my favorite picture that she posted is the one of them. You can put it in, but like the
Hmm.
so cute, so cute. But she looked stunning. I love the filter or however these pictures are posted. It looks gorgeous. It looks almost just like a dream. It looks like something out of right out of a fantasy movie. It looks so pretty.
Her dress was so fitting for her. Like it just looks so gorgeous on her. I would personally, for no bias, any reason, would love to see what Gracie wore, her little sister.
Yes.
Because I think that obviously we all know Selena is very close with her sister. So I think she was definitely in something very beautiful, but almost matching in a way. Um, so I'd love to see some pictures, but we totally respect not seeing pictures because this is a very intimate moment for them and something that you want them to treasure and kind of feel like their own. So I'm here for it. Love is in the air. Was Taylor Swift the flower girl? Because there's an old tweet that Taylor Swift made that said, "Yes, I'll be the flower girl," when she first announced her engagement to Benny Blanco. So I would like to know if we fulfilled that prophecy.
True. I also love that her co-stars in Only Murders in the Building, Martin Short and Steve Martin. I love their bond that they have, and obviously they were at the wedding. And Selena revealed on the Drew Barrymore show not long ago that Martin Short was going to be giving a speech at her wedding.
You just know that speech was full of like laugh and crying.
I was about to say, I'm sure there was no dry eye in the audience.
Yeah, what to be a fly on the wall for that wedding.
Right? That'd be crazy. Well, moving into our next segment of the day, our weekly watches, as always. Gracie, what you been watching this week?
I finally got around to watching The Strangers chapter one, and as someone who enjoyed the first original 2008 film, I was slightly disappointed by this one. But that being said, the performances in this were fantastic. I think Malin Pesh is such a good final girl, and she has grown so much since we first met her as Cheryl Blossom in Riverdale. Even in Riverdale, she killed it, let's be honest. But yeah, it was great seeing her kind of grow up and develop this character on screen. Obviously, The Strangers is still very uncomfortable and kind of, well, is scary thinking about the fact that it does happen in real life, not to this extent, but home invasions, people getting into trouble for no apparent reason. So that part of it will always scare me, knowing that it's a possibility in real life. But the story to me just felt kind of like half done, and not because it's split into parts, but because it just felt like it got into the nighttime scene extremely fast. We don't really know anything about this couple going into it except that they've been together for 5 years and they're not engaged. So I did appreciate the townspeople clocking the man for that because 5 years is a long time, guys. But yeah, it just felt very rushed. And then once we got to the parts of them being hunted, it felt very slow. So it was a mix of the film not finding the right tempo for me. But despite that, beautiful performances, cinematography was great. And the second one, chapter two, is out now if you are interested in seeing that. Nicole, what was your watch of the week?
My watch of the week was The Long Walk, which of course is based on the Stephen King novel of the same name, hence what I alluded to a little bit earlier here. But this film was directed by Francis Lawrence, which arguably is most well known for directing the Hunger Games film, beginning with Catching Fire, all the way up until our latest The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. He's also directing the upcoming film Sunrise on the Reaping. So we love Francis Lawrence here as big Hunger Games fans. And I have to say, there was many times throughout watching this film, I was like, this is giving the Hunger Games. This is basically a different variation of the Hunger Games. But if you haven't heard what The Long Walk is about, it's basically a dystopian kind of alternate universe in the United States, and 50 teenage boys take part in a deadly annual walking contest, forced to maintain a minimum pace or be executed until only one survivor remains. So basically, all these boys, one from each state, are representing their home. They are trying to win unlimited treasures and riches. And like it says, they have to keep a walking pace of at least 3 miles an hour, or they receive 3 warnings and then they're shot and executed. Um, the cast is insane in this movie. It stars Cooper Hoffman as Raymond Garrity and David Johnson as Peter McVires. There are two stars, arguably. Then we also have Garrett Waring, Toot Nyut, Charlie Plummer, Ben Wang. We also have Mark Hamill, Judy Greer, and Josh Hamilton. This cast is phenomenal, but I was very blown away by Cooper and David's performances. I thought they were stellar in this film. Not only do such they show such emotion without even having to say anything, which I think was very pivotal in changing the course from scene to scene of this film as they walk longer, as becomes more grueling, as they face more difficulties throughout this. Um, they're just literally walking on this pavement road for days and days and days and days. and slowly watching all the boys around them get executed. And it's heartbreaking and it's hard to watch for sure, but it's so well done. I thought the script was great. I thought the conversation that they engaged in throughout this was so felt so natural, especially to the circumstances that they're going under. I enjoyed that they really added emotionality to the script as well, like the conversations that they do have between a lot of the boys, not just David and Cooper's characters, but it's so deep and it goes into such an emotional level about their lives and it reveals why they're doing this, what they wish to do after it, if they're the survivor, if they're the winner. Um, but yeah, it was heartbreaking, but it was such a great watch at the same time. I would say if you have a chance to go see this in theaters, definitely go see this in theaters. It's one of those films again where, I mean, all films are best seen on the big screen, but this is a really great watch to see on the biggest screen possible. The sound, even of it, and the sound and just the sense of how they take advantage of silence and pauses and loud noises and just kind of all those to help you have those visceral reactions to some of these scenes. So I thought this was a fantastic film. I thought they did it very well. Like I said, I love Francis Lawrence, and so I thought this was just a great watch.
I do want to point out we love Francis Lawrence and Ben Wang working together.
Yes, right? Oh my gosh, when Ben, I didn't know Ben was in this film, and so when Ben came on screen, I was like, yes, you are booked and busy between The Karate Kid this year, between The Long Walk, and then, like Gracie's alluding to, he is Sunrise on the Reaping next year, that Hunger Games film. So we love to see it. I will say, I feel like this is the year of Cooper and David for me because I saw David Johnson in Wasteman at TIFF with Tom Blythe. He was phenomenal in that. Last year he was in Alien Romulus, and now of course we have him in The Long Walk. Cooper Hoffman's been killing it. He was in my favorite film from TIFF, Poetic License. So I feel like I'm on a kick of Cooper and David films right now.
And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely not.
But moving on, what was your song of the week, Nicole?
My song of the week, a little throwback in the country world. I know, don't be too shocked, don't be too surprised. Dancing Away with My Heart by Lady A. It randomly came on the radio the other day, and I was like, I have not listened to this song in years. Forgot it existed. So it's back in the country playlist now. Been listening to it a few times, but such a great throwback. Lady A has such fantastic music. I love kind of their stuff that came out when I was a kid, that 2010-ish time. Just phenomenal, phenomenal music. So that's my listen of the week. But what is your song of the week, Gracie?
My song of the week is also country, so I'm glad
Love.
we're on the same vibe. Cameron Whitcomb's new album, The Hard Way, just came out, and obviously I've been listening, but I really love the song Holiday that's on it. I think it's just beautiful. It's a great song about love, and just he's always so open and honest with his music. So I really appreciate that in his lyricism. And honestly, the album as a whole is so good. So definitely listen to that. But I do like Holiday the best.
I should have guessed that. I knew it was gonna be the Cameron Whitcomb album too.
That's
Should have.
it.
And to close us out today, as always, our upcoming releases. Starting tomorrow, October 3rd, we have Monster, the Ed Gein story on Netflix, which I waitress and some of my regular customers keep talking about this. For like the past few weeks, they're like, Nicole, have you seen the trailer for this new Monster series on Netflix? And they just keep talking about it. And if you've watched the trailer, this is based off, Ed Gein. He influenced movies like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's really gruesome and deadly and a horrible story. So I'm very intrigued to see what this gets ratings wise once it comes out, what people think of it. I mean, his portrayal looks fantastic in the trailer, as fantastic as it could get for a show of this topic. But yeah,
I am always so torn with the Monster franchise
yes.
because I think it's extremely well done. Um, obviously by Ryan Murphy, but it's something that I don't think should necessarily be made because these stories are so gruesome and it did affect so many people in extremely negative ways.
Yeah.
I don't feel like bad stories necessarily need to be told because we already have so much darkness in the world. that it's sometimes depressing to see stuff like this. But I can also see the flip side of it, of like telling these stories so people are aware. So I'm always kind of like 50-50 with this franchise.
I think
But
it's just walking that line between entertainment and reality type ways because, like you said, the informative side of it can always be done through something that's not necessarily just pure entertainment value. Like, this isn't a documentary or something, you know what I mean? Like, but I agree with you. I can see both sides of it.
but moving away from that, also on October 3rd, we have Marvel Zombies on Disney Plus.
We also have Bone Lake in theaters.
Going back to theaters is Casper the Friendly Ghost.
I loved Casper the Ghost as a kid. He's so cute.
Spooky season.
Speaking of back in theaters, they have also re-released Avatar: The Way of Water 3D back in theaters in anticipation of Avatar: Fire and Ash coming out in December later this year.
Crazy how fast they're coming out now after that huge break from the first Avatar.
Right?
I'm like, wow, we're not waiting. Going to Apple TV Plus, we have a TIFF film, The Lost Bus.
Which I enjoyed, but I also think there's something to say about seeing films like this again on the biggest screen possible. I thought this was a good watch in theaters, so I'm interested to see how people think of it when they're watching it at home on TV. We also have VHS Halloween on Shudder.
We have Steve on Netflix, which was also at TIFF.
And closing out October 3rd, we have Taylor Swift, The Life of a Showgirl in a limited theatrical release.
Over on October 4th, we have Saturday Night Live. Season 51 is officially starting on NBC.
And on October 7th, we have True Haunting on Netflix.
We also have Red Alert on Paramount Plus.
And October 8th, we have Maintenance Required on Prime Video.
And closing off our list, also on October 8th, we have Is It Cake? Halloween on Netflix.
You know what? That's not a skill that I have. Every time I see those videos on TikTok, I'm
You're
like,
like,
Mom,
it's
is that
real.
one for sure? No, no, it's not.
I feel
I'm
like we should
normal.
definitely have a watch party just to yell, like, is it cake or is it real? And both of us be extremely wrong.
Yeah, so if you ever need someone to help you with that, don't come
We are
to
not
us.
your people.
Well, that is everything we have for the show today. If you're still with us, thank you so, so much for sticking around. We will be back same time next week, as always, to bring you more of the same. But until then, I'm Nicole.
I'm Gracie, and you can watch or listen to us wherever you get your podcasts on Spotify and YouTube.
We'll see you next week. Bye.